For the past 3 years, the group Indian Americans for Burlington has held annual Diwali celebrations on the town common, featuring brightly colored art and costumes, impressive dances, and delicious food. The idea is to help spread Indian traditions to the greater community and allow everyone to celebrate the largest festival in Indian culture. I recently joined 3 members of the group to talk about the tradition and what was different this year. I started by asking why they decided to share their traditions of Diwali with the greater Burlington community.
We wanted to kind of bring the Indian culture in the forefront, and celebrate within the town, and also in a way trying to educate, like what Diwali means and how we celebrate and what's our culture and what are the different arenas within our culture, right? So that's why, like, whether it's food, whether it's cultural program, or whether it is art, and that's why we thought, like, okay, I think Burlington Common is the right place to celebrate with everyone.
It's Indian Americans for Burlington, and as the name implies, our goal was always to involve the greater Burlington community in whatever we do. And this is one of those holidays which is not a religious thing. It is not belong to a particular part of India. And so we thought this would be one way to basically get the greater Burlington community to get to know about the Indian culture.
The name Diwali comes from the Sanskrit word meaning rows of lighted lamps. There are different traditions, but many believe the day celebrates the return of King Rama, an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and symbolizes the spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance.
That's why the whole country celebrates it with lighting some diyas and candles around and light up the whole house, all the houses, and celebrate. And I think that's the reason why we even did the same thing in the town commons. We're lighting up getting the trees light up, and celebrate by lighting up everything to a way of inviting Lord Rama back home.
This year, due to the pandemic, they were unable to hold Diwali on the town common. So they did what many have done and moved it online and on television.
Like this year has been different, and we were not able to celebrate in the town common today in person. So what the idea was to bring Diwali closer to everybody, at least via social media, and bring closer to their homes so that they can sit and watch at their comfort, maintaining the social distancing, of course.
Normally, the Diwali celebration features arts, crafts, food, displays of traditional dress, and cultural performances. While this year everyone was responsible for their own food, the rest of the traditions were kept as much as possible.
So what we did was, we kind of converted that whole concept into a virtual concept. So we had the same thing. We definitely didn't have the food, but we had the vendors, we had the arts and cultural program.
Finally, Jeannie says that perhaps in this year, 2020, with the pandemic, the theme of this year's Diwali, friendship, hope, and humanity, is needed more than ever.
It kind of aligns with what in general Diwali means, how, and the purpose of why we celebrate. Like, yes, it's a return of King, but at the same time, the return of King also means that our happiness are going to come back, and we're going to have a prosperous new year. And, and the King has won, it made a symbol of good over evil. So, so everything ends with a happy ending, right? So that's kind of what the whole theme and Diwali is about.
The virtual Diwali celebration can be found on Indian Americans for Burlington's social media and on BCAT and our social media. From the world of Zoom, I'm B News Director Rich Hossford.